Welcome back to PERK'S reCAP podcast. It is time for the Week 12 review. We are a little later than normal. It is Thanksgiving week. Things have gotten a little different with schedules and things like that. But we're here for you. We're going to be here for you every week like always. And like always, Al is with me. Al, how you doing?
Good, man. Good. Yeah. Ready to eat myself into a coma tomorrow and looking forward to talking football.
Yes. Okay. Well, why don't we dive right in? Very interesting week especially with the picks, but we'll get to that. The first game was Houston.
Yeah, no doubt.
First game was in Houston, Buffalo visiting the Texans, and we all picked Buffalo. We were all wrong. Houston gets the win, 23-19. I think this is a huge win for Houston. This kind of vaults them up in my mind anyway on where they are. But Buffalo, they have been kind of up and down this year. They have not been what I thought, really. At times they are, but they are definitely inconsistent.
Wildly inconsistent. I agree with everything you said, 100%. This changes. The Texans have completely turned around their season. They are now above 500. They have been playing really well with Davis Mills at quarterback. And I don't think it's because there's a problem with Stroud. I just think it's the team getting itself together. The defenses have been good all year. The offense struggling mightily. But that offensive line has started to play half decent. And half decent is exponentially better than what they were getting the last season and a half. So it's huge. And they are now a contender for the playoffs again. No doubt about it. And the Bills are wildly inconsistent. I don't know what to make of them.
Yep. I agree with everything you said there. Josh Allen didn't have a crazy good day with he had 2 interceptions, so that's really what happened there. But James Cook had a touchdown, 100 yards. Shakir had 100 yards. It's like the usual suspects did it for him, but they just, they turned the ball over.
Yeah, the turnovers, they also lost a fumble. I'm not sure who lost it. My stats don't say that. I don't know if yours do. But
Shakir lost the fumble.
Oh, I remember seeing that now. That's right. Okay.
So they had 3 turnovers. That's the big problem.
Right on. Yeah, that's the difference in a 4-point game. That's all you need to know, They outgained them, 326 to 261 total yards. They had roughly, they were 1 penalty more, 6-5. And they even had the time of possession. So, everything pointed to them winning except the turnovers.
Yep, exactly. Wow, sorry. Excuse me. Anyway,
yeah, we're doing this a little later than usual, listeners.
Yeah, so the listeners know it is late.
Yeah.
it is very late. Anyway, 23-19 though. So, like you said, this is all about the Texans more than the Bills for me. Like you said, the Bills inconsistent. I'm not raising the crazy alarm bells on them, but I think the alarm bells were to some degree already being raised with them. But this really brings my attention to Houston and maybe taking them a little bit more serious, because they do have now the number 1 defense in the league. I don't think it's close. I mean, not close.
No, they do.
I don't think it's debatable.
Statistically, yeah, absolutely, Craig. I'm with you, man. Statistically, the stats back it up. Holding a team like the Bills to 19 points backs it up. I mean, they are no joke, and their offensive line has come together just enough to let them do something, which is all they really needed. It's very similar to your Cowboy thing, where you've been talking for a long time now about if they could just not be a disaster on defense and just be okay, it would change their fortunes. What the Texans needed that from their offensive line, and they're finally getting it.
Right, and they got 8 sacks in this game.
That's wild, man.
8 sacks.
Absolutely wild. Will Anderson is a beast.
Yep. And to close this out, wrap this up, they got a great nickname for Davis Mills. They're calling him General Mills.
Oh, I didn't catch that. That's awesome.
I know you like the nickname.
By the way, they have a guy named Tutu that got a sack in this game. Henry Tutu.
Yes, they do.
I love it.
So, all right, let's move on if you are ready.
Yes, sir.
Okay, one of the games we all got right. We all picked Kansas City to win this game, but I was really rooting for the Colts to win. But they did not. Kansas City gets the win 23-20 in a game really where the Colts kind of blew it because they were up, man. They had it. They had this game in the bag, I thought.
They did. They were up 20-9 at the end of the third quarter.
Come on.
Yep, they had this thing, man. And then Kansas City, who had reverted from the entire Mahomes era of being great at close games, especially last year when they won like 9 of them or something. And they had been the exact opposite this year. They were like 0-5 or something, I think it was in one possession games. And they got back to the old Kansas City in this one.
Time of possession, 42 minutes to 25.
That's crazy.
In favor of Kansas City. Also, though,
especially when you have Jonathan Taylor on your team.
Yep, and 18 penalties in the game, 11 of them on the Colts.
Yeah, that's huge. Huge. Because other than that, they didn't turn the ball over once.
Nope.
Kansas City turned it over twice. Yeah, that time of possession and the penalties, big part of the picture here.
Yeah, I totally agree. Because
look at the first downs, Craig.
First downs. Let me see.
This is going to blow you away.
Where did I go with the first downs?
I'm almost thinking this is a misprint in the one I'm looking at. It's such a massive distraction. Yeah.
33-10?
Yes, I've never seen anything like that.
Wow.
That's insane. I almost, my eyeballs almost popped out of my head looking at that number.
Kansas City blew them away in the yardage too, 495 to 255.
Yeah, this was like statistical domination by Kansas City, but the fact is the Colts make a couple defensive plays and they win this game, and they were up big going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, but if you look at the numbers, nobody really did much. Daniel Jones had 2 touchdowns, but only 180 yards. Taylor had 50-something yards. Like, nobody really went off for them. And, Mahomes throws for 352.
Yep, I know. It's wild, man. It's wild. Yeah, and Kareem Hunt grinding away like the Kareem Hunt of 7 years ago. And by the way,
he had 30 carries.
30 carries for 104 yards. By the way, do you see who has 5 carries for the Chiefs? I didn't even know he was in the league.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
Boom.
Back. Remember when he came in, the big hoopla? People were going crazy for him.
Oh, he was a late first-round pick by the Chiefs. Everybody thought he was going to walk right into 1,300 yards a year, and it never happened.
Nope. Rashid Rice, he's a beast in this one, 141 yards. When their full complement is on the field, they're going to be tough to beat. Rice, Worthy, and Kelsey, and Hunt running like that. That's tough to beat.
Yeah, and they don't even have Pacheco, so they're a fascinatingly inconsistent Chiefs team, but boy, if they just get everything rolling, and everybody's been waiting for it all year, we've had, people have, I don't know if I ever did, but at least Joe for sure, and I think you did too, had them in the top 5 power rankings when they were 1 game over 500. Yep. And I understand it entirely because everybody's waiting for them to be the team that we think they can be. Maybe this is the beginning of it, but we've been faked out before just this season. So I still don't know what to make of the Chiefs. This does prove to me that the Colts are a good team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're a good team.
Even though they lost.
They lost. I'm a little bit concerned about them, but not to the degree where I think they're going to completely fall off a cliff. But they might not be long for the world in the playoffs.
No, and I was never quite sold on that anyway, but this, I think this is now 3 out of 4 losses, right?
Something like that. They've definitely hit the skids.
Yeah, they need to come back and have a big win against a good team to start feeling good about themselves again, and for people like us to believe in them.
Yep. All right, let's move on.
Nice.
The Bears, 31-28 over the Steelers, and Aaron Rodgers, he didn't play, so it doesn't matter, but Was this just the fact that Mason Rudolph was the quarterback and therefore they couldn't win? The Rodgers wasn't on the field.
I don't know, because, Mason didn't play that bad. He had numbers very similar to a lot of games Aaron Rodgers played this year. So as much as I like to say that, it was a 3-point loss against a good team. So, he didn't do that bad. It was, I don't know what this Steelers team is so weird. I don't know what to make. We talk about it ad nauseum, and it drives me crazy trying to figure these guys out, whether it's Aaron Rodgers or Mason Rudolph. They outgained the Bears. They out-time a possession them. The turnovers were even. So theoretically, they should have won this game. They had less penalties for half the yards. I mean, it was, everything points to the Steelers winning this game, but yet the Bears won.
Yeah, I mean, the Steelers were up in this first half, and then gave it up in the second half to a degree. But it was a close one, and it was on the road. Kenneth Gainwell, what is going on with Kenneth Gainwell?
Kenny G, man, the dude can play. I would love to see him keep getting carries. It's funny because, Jaylen Warren is the guy there, and he's a good player, but he's not playing as well as Kenny G this year. He is not. And, he had 18 carries for 68 yards, solid. But Kenny G was spectacular. And he had 6 catches for 30 yards too. So, I love Kenny, man. He's really we've talked about some of the best backup quarterbacks in football a lot over time and on this pod. This guy's one of the best number 2 running backs out there. I love him.
10 carries, 92 yards.
Yeah, I love this guy. He was a big for the Eagles. I'll root for him, whatever he does the rest of his career, and he's kicking butt in Pittsburgh. He's doing really well.
All right, let's focus on the Bears here a little bit. Caleb Williams, 239 and 3 touchdowns, no picks. They did not do much on the ground, but DJ Moore had a good day with a couple touchdowns. But the Bears are playing at a pretty high level now. They're playing pretty good, and they are sneakily, they're 8-3.
I know, man. They're one of the more pleasantly surprising teams in the league this year, right there with the Colts and a few others. Nobody thought the Bears, very few people thought the Bears and the Colts were going to be 8-3.
Was this a case of maybe having to get their footing under them with a new coach, and now they have it?
I absolutely 1,000% think that. I thought they got the right guy. He was the guy I would have hired if I needed a coach in this offseason, over any 3 other guys I would have taken, and I can't think of his name right now because I suck at names, but
Ben Johnson?
Thank you. I would have taken him over every other candidate that was available for the last 3 or 4 years, probably, because I thought that much of him. And it was a shaky start, but we've seen time and time again, we have to be patient with new coaching staffs and new coordinators. And they really pulled it together quickly. Caleb Williams is turning into the real deal. The whole offense is looking dangerous. And, their D is they gave up 28 points to the Steelers, so it's not the best time to trumpet their D, but they have been pretty good this year and very opportunistic. I think they still lead the league in turnovers forced.
Yeah. So good day overall for the Bears. I mean, like you said, it wasn't easy. Close win, but a win is a win. You don't apologize for wins. And they are 8-3, and they're leading that division. And the way some of these other teams are playing, they are the front runner to win it. We'll see how it goes the rest of the way, but they're in a good spot.
I completely agree. It's wild. It's blowing my mind that that's the case, and I'm happy for them because I picked them to be second in the division, I'm pretty sure. But I was not super confident about it, just because, new coach and a lot of things had to come together. Caleb Williams had to be a lot better than his rookie season for that to happen, and he has been. The coach has proven his salt. So, they are really everything you want from a first-year coach and a second-year quarterback you're seeing this year.
Yeah. By the way, just for some games, like I said, we got Houston wrong. All 3 of us got Houston wrong. All 3 of us got Kansas City right. And me and you got Chicago correct, but Joe picked Pittsburgh.
So he was almost right.
He got that one wrong. So let's move on to the next game, which is New England 26, Cincinnati 20. We all picked New England. We all got it right. I mean, they're 10-2.
It's wild, dude.
They're the number
Wild.
one seed right now.
Yep. And they might end up that way, like you were talking about last week. It is a very real possibility.
I mean, Drake May, 294, one touch. He did throw a pick as well, but didn't kill him, obviously. Travion Henderson has taken the backfield role, number one. He is the number one, 18 carries.
That was a pleasant surprise because we talked about whether that was going to be the case or not after he had that those a couple of really nice games with Ramondre Stevenson out with an injury, and it actually happened. So it's really cool to see.
Yeah,
It's a credit to Vrabel.
Ramondre is back, but he had 6 carries for 5 yards.
Yep.
It's not going to get it done. Hunter Henry, 115 yards and a touch. I tell you, we mentioned this too. Drake May, he's got his team at 10-2 with a cast of receivers that no one is envious of, other than Stephon Diggs. But he's an old man. He's throwing to nobody.
It's insane, dude. His 3 best receivers, other than Stephon Diggs, are Demario Douglas, Kayshon Boutte, and Mac Hollins. And you know I love me some Mac Hollins, but the dude's a career, 4th receiver special team specialist. And the other 2 guys hadn't proved anything before this season. So, I mean, it is astonishing what he's able to accomplish. Get him some good receivers and watch out. I mean, this is something special. I mean, he is heading for one hell of a career, my man.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying, but yeah.
It is. I mean, can we just it was a nice 3-year run with New England not having a Hall of Famer behind center.
In Joe Flacco's final game, hopefully for the Bengals, 116 yards, a touch and a pick. Chase Brown had 107 yards. So they did some things on offense. They had 20 points.
It was a close game.
Yeah, just not enough. New England kind of just outlasted them. And, they've got the better quarterback. They've got probably the better coach. And, for the Bengals on a 3-8 year, it's basically over, but just, to get your guy back, which is going to happen on Thanksgiving, Joe Burrow is expected to play and be back. And that's always, at least for the Bengal fans, that's good to see.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's something to root for. He's one of the best players in the league, and it's nice to have him back. It's good for all of football. And boy, it would be a fun story if they start reeling off some wins and have a possibility of ending up 9-8.
That would be amazing. That'd be great.
It would be something, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. Always root for Joe Burrow.
Gotta love Joe.
All right, let's move on to the Ravens, 23-10 over the Jets. We all got this one correct. We thought it would be a little bit more of a higher scoring game for Baltimore, but to be honest, Lamar Jackson is back, but he is banged up.
Yeah, he doesn't look like Lamar yet.
Not at all. Now he's got a toe, they're saying, to go along with his ankle and knee. He's all banged up.
When you see a Lamar Jackson rushing stat line of 7 carries for 11 yards, 1.6 yards a carry, you know he's not right because he's too electric to put up that kind of number.
Yeah, and he only threw for 153 yards, no touchdowns.
And he'll do that sometimes when he's healthy, but usually that's accompanied with 7 carries for 82 yards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and a touch.
Yep. So, yeah, no, he's not right. And but they won and easily against a crappy team, which they should do if they're a decent team. And lo and behold, the formerly 1-5 Ravens are now 6-5.
Yeah, aren't they in first place in the AFC North now?
That's a good question.
I think they are. We said they were going to overtake them. I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah. Yep. You are correct. They're both 6-5, but they must have the tiebreaker.
Yep. Yeah.
And check this out, dude. This is wild. Total points for, points against for the Ravens, 275 for, 261 against. Steelers, 274 for, 263 against.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's neck and neck. Wow, that's great. That is crazy.
That's wild, man. That is wild.
So even though they were unimpressive, it's another win in a row. It's the fifth win in a row for them. The Jets, Tyrod Taylor, he's going to continue to be the quarterback. I think at some point they have a rookie that they drafted like 2 years ago. I'm sure he'll get a shot later on in the year, but it doesn't really matter at this point. Brees Hall, nothing really going on, 44 yards. Also without Garrett Wilson, there's really nothing to get excited about for the Jets.
Yeah, you could put anybody back there and they're going to struggle. Anybody. You'll get. Listen, you put a healthy Joe Burrow or Drake May or whoever you want to name right now that's awesome in this league, and they'll be a little better, but they're still going to struggle with that offensive approach with that lineup. It's just ugly. It's a tough spot for both quarterbacks, Tyrod and my boy Justin.
Yep. I'm going to move on if you're cool with that.
Yeah, man.
Seattle 30, Tennessee 24. We all got this one right, but we all had big scores for Seattle. 31-10, 31-14, 34-13. Those were all what we all picked. And this was a 6-point game. And, Tennessee was in this. They were in this, after the third quarter. And, they fought. And which is good.
This was a shocker.
Yeah, it's good to see that they fought.
This was, if you are a Titans fan, this is the game you've been waiting for from Cam Ward. This has got to be easily the best game he had all season. He went 28 for 42 for 256 and a touch, no picks. He ran 6 times for 37 yards and a touch. Against a good D in Seattle. So this is some glimmer of hope finally for Titan fans and last year's number 1 pick.
Yeah, and like you said, not against a scrub defense. Seattle's a good defense and a good team overall.
No doubt about it. And on the other side, you wanted to see Sam Darnold bounce back from his 4-pick outing against the Rams, and he did just that. He had a stellar, super solid game, 16-26 for 244 and a touchdown, no picks. Bounced right back.
Yep, 2 touchdowns for Sam.
Yep. Yes.
And Jackson Smith-Njigba, good Lord.
This guy's unbelievable, Craig.
8 catches, 167 yards, and 2 touchdowns. It seems like he does that every week.
It's insane. This guy's only 23 years old still. He is making a case as the best. I mean, statistically this year, he is the best receiver in football, but he's making a case that he is that guy now. I mean, it is wild.
Yeah.
The year he's putting up.
Yep. Let's see here. 37-22 in the time of possession minutes in favor of Tennessee.
That's unbelievable.
And then 21 freaking penalties in this game.
Ouch.
Yeah,
ouch.
Don't like that.
Yeah.
But
by the way, man, Seattle is now 8-3, so they played 11 games. And JSN has 80 catches for 1,313 yards and 7 touchdowns.
Wow, with what? With
6 games left to play.
Oh my God.
That's crazy. He broke DK Metcalf's Seattle Seahawks single season yardage record in game 11.
Yeah, he is going crazy. He right now, he's taking the mantle now. He's right there among the elites in the league, and he might be the best of them all. We'll have to see where it goes from here, but he's in the conversation now.
No doubt about it, man. It is something to behold. And he and Darnold have quite a connection going on.
All right. I'm ready to move on if you are.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Battle of the NFC North, but, it's kind of lost its luster since Minnesota has McCarthy really struggling under center. Green Bay wins 23-6 in Green Bay. It's just, McCarthy, he's basically a rookie. We got to remember that. But he's struggling.
Yep.
That's what it all boils down to. He's just struggling, learning his way.
Struggling so badly that you have to wonder about his future. Like, it's too early. We've seen too many people bounce back from looking horrible, but it is bad. And made even worse, Craig, by the fact that he has a really good surrounding cast. I mean, he has one of, the guy who a lot of people would have said is the best receiver in football between him and probably Chase for the last 5 years, Justin Jefferson. You have a great tight end in TJ Hawkinson. You have good running backs in Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason. You have Jordan Addison, a very good number 2, who didn't catch a pass in this game, by the way. You have, it is a heck of a surrounding cast. So it's not like he's playing for the Titans and having to deal with what's his face is, Right. So it is something else, man. I don't know, man. It is scary bad for JJ McCarthy right now.
He threw for 87 yards.
That's brutal, dude. And 2 picks. I mean, just awful.
2 picks. On the other side, Jordan Love, 139 and nothing. Did not light up the scoreboard at all. Light up the stat line.
And they were up so big that they didn't have to play up much offense. They leaned on Emmanuel Wilson, who did awesome with Jacobs out.
Yeah, 107 yards and 2 touchdowns. Good for him.
Yeah, heck of an outing, man. He's looked good when I've watched the Packers this year. He looks good as a number 2. And, boy, it translated into a heck of a day if you picked him up in your fantasy team.
Hell yeah. Not much receiving at all, though. Nobody really stood out. He didn't throw for a ton of yards. But yeah, the 2 picks. Did they also fumble, Minnesota? They also lost the fumble. So that's 3 turnovers.
Yeah, you can't do that when you're already struggling that much at the quarterback position. And he was sacked 5 times also, by the way.
Yeah, so Green Bay kind of just took care of business here. 37-22 time of possession as well. Yeah, it's getting bad for Minnesota. We'll have to see where they go from here. Right now the season just becomes about McCarthy and what he can do.
100%. That's exactly right. Right there with you on that.
And Green Bay 7-3, so they're kind of where they've rounding into form for where we thought they would be.
Yeah, and we've both been very unimpressed by them this season, but they are 7-3 with that tie they had against the Cowboys still hanging out there, which is going to be weird when it comes to playoff slot time. But they are right there in the thick of things, man, and still have a solid team that might be rounding into form here. Let's keep our eye on that. I'm still not sure how I feel about them, but I know they're good. I'm just not sure if they're great.
Right. And I kind of feel the same thing about their NFC North counterpart, the Detroit Lions, because they are wildly inconsistent as well.
And boy, have the Giants trademarked how to blow a game?
This is the 5th time this year they had a lead in the 4th quarter and lost.
And they could have kicked a field goal, Craig, to go up 6 with, 50 seconds left or whatever was left. Yep. And they decided to go for it. They miss, and they let them tie on a 59-yard field goal attempt, which they wouldn't have mattered. It would have been a Hail Mary to try and win by 1 point if they had kicked the field goal.
Yep. Absolutely.
Crazy, man.
So, yeah, they were up again. I just don't understand what. They fired their defensive coordinator finally, because the defense is blowing these leads.
Yeah.
And obviously they've already fired their head coach, so they're cleaning the house out. The only good thing is possibly, they don't know, possibly Jackson Dart is going to start the next game, and at least we can start seeing him again. And he might be able to keep him in some of these games, maybe close a couple out and get a couple wins.
Yeah, man. The fun of Jameis Winston will go away, though. How about that touchdown catch that Jameis had?
Yeah, he broke the tackle. That was great.
Yeah, man. He juked a guy. That was awesome. Gunnar Olszewski threw it to him. I mean, come on, dude. Like, something fun always happens when Jameis Winston is on the field. You usually don't win, but it's fun in the way it goes down.
And he friggin' slings it. 366 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick.
He's a gem, man. I just wish there was he could just be a starter in this league somewhere. It seems like what should really happen is he should end up on the Raiders and he should just start no matter how bad they are for a year or two.
Oh, that would be great.
He seems like a perfect Raider to me.
Wan'Dale Robinson, 9 catches, 156 yards and a touchdown.
Wan'Dale's having a decent year, man. Like a really good year for him. I mean, like he is either a really good number 3 or a pretty solid number 2 on a good team.
Yeah, I like him. I kind of always have liked him. On the Detroit side, they scored 34 points. I mean, Goff threw it 42 times, but he's economical enough. 279 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. But the story, real quick, Amon-Ra St. Brown doing what he does, 9 catches, 149 yards and a touchdown. But good Lord, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Unbelievable.
219 yards.
On only 15 carries. 14.6 yards a carry.
14-yard average. Are you kidding?
That's crazy. That's like Red Grange numbers, the galloping ghost.
2 touchdowns on the ground. He added 11 more catches. 11 catches, 45 yards, and another touchdown.
Unbelievable. He is so good.
My goodness. Wow.
Yeah, he's amazing, man. He is absolutely amazing. And he won it for him, with that last touchdown.
Yep. Like you said, though, the Giants are really stupid. If they would have kicked that field goal, it would have been a lot harder for Detroit to win that game.
Oh, it was an astonishingly stupid. I knew the second they lined up to go for it, they were going to lose that game. That was crazy.
Yep.
Absolutely crazy.
But so Detroit, while pretty inconsistent and up and down, and right when I start to really believe in them, they seem to let me down. They're 7-4, so they're solid. They're behind Green Bay, but they're right there with them. The game on Thanksgiving is Green Bay against Detroit, so that's going to really determine a lot. That's going to be a really good one. But it doesn't really change my opinion on Detroit too much. The Giants had them beat though. But the Giants do what the Giants have been doing all year. If they win half of those games, they've got 4 or 5 wins, and it's not so bad to have this kind of a score against them.
Yeah.
But they managed to figure out ways how to lose all these games.
It's astonishing. I mean, there were some crazy losses this week, but the Giants have been consistent at it. They've built their name on it this year. It's crazy. They've invented ways to lose, and like legit, they should probably have at least 5 wins. But they have just been the kings of blowing it. It's wild. It's absolutely wild, and it's an inventive and creative ways to lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've had 3 different quarterbacks lose games this year. They've had coaches blow it. They've had defense blow it. They've had offense blow it. They've had special teams blow it. It's incredible.
We had 16 penalties. We had a 37-28 time of possession advantage for the Giants, and we had 1,000 yards of offense.
Unbelievable, dude.
517 yards. They had more yards than Detroit. 517 for the Giants, 494 for Detroit, but that's over 1,000 in this game.
Incredible. This was a fun game. It really
was.
was.
I watched this game. Yeah, this was really fun. And anytime Detroit needed, you just see Jim. Oh, there goes Gibbs for another 50 yards.
Yeah, right, totally, man. Totally. Yeah, that guy is something else, man. That guy is absolutely something else.
All right, let's move on if you're ready.
Yes, sir.
Jacksonville 27, Arizona 24. I picked Jacksonville, and you and Joe both picked Arizona, so I got this one right. But this was not one I was confident in at all. But Jacksonville, I mean, they're another team. They're kind of like Houston, where you can't really believe in them, but every once in a while they'll give you a couple things where you start to believe. And this is another one. They're 7-4 now, so it's not like they're garbage. And they won this on the road too. So I don't know. It wasn't overly impressive, but on the surface it's kind of impressive on the road, and the fact that they're in the thick of things for their division.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's it's funny because listening to you explain that the state of the Jaguars is perfect because nobody can figure out what to make of these guys. They are an absolute enigma. They went on the road and they won, but it was against a 3-8 team, and they squeaked it out in overtime while the quarterback threw 3 picks.
Yeah, Lawrence had 256 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 picks.
Yeah, it's wild, dude.
And then
they're so inconsistent.
Yeah, they went back to ETN for 86 yards, which is good.
Yes. It's nice to see him reemerge this year and have a solid season.
Yeah, I've always liked him because he really has gotten some bad luck.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm with you there. And I'll tell you what, let's not gloss over Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett outplayed Trevor Lawrence by far.
Oh, yeah.
But they still can't win a game with him, even though this is the third time I think he's gone over 300 yards since he took over for Kyler Murray, and he's played really well. This is now 11 touchdowns and 3 picks since he became the starter, and but they still can't win games.
Yep, 300 yards. He threw a touchdown, no picks. He did make the cardinal sin of throwing 49 times, though. As we know, that's not a recipe for success usually for anybody.
Right.
Michael Wilson with 118 yards and 10 catches.
He's been big lately. And by the way, he was their 3rd round pick 3 years ago. We were both wondering who Michael Wilson was, and I had to remind myself what his deal was. He was their 3rd round pick 3 years ago.
Okay. McBride, solid tight end as always, and 9 catches. Our favorite, Greg Dortch, the Dortch man, 53 yards and a touch.
Gotta love Dortch.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, Arizona's not very good, but, they were ahead at halftime here. This was 14-10 Cardinals.
Yeah, man. Yeah, this was close all the way along, and went to overtime. And they gave him a game. They really did. The Cardinals have been in a lot of games this year, much like the Giants, actually, but not pulling off a lot of wins.
Right, much like the Giants as well.
Yes. Perfect.
Another team that doesn't pull off a lot of wins but pulled one off was the Browns over the Raiders, 24-10. Handled them kind of easily looking at that score. Me and you both got this one wrong, and Joe got it right. We both picked Vegas, and he picked Cleveland.
Hey, credit to Joe on this one, because I don't know how anybody looked at Shedeur Sanders' 4 for 16 performance the week before and picked the Browns in this game. So big credit to Joe here, because I especially with them on the road on top of it, there is no chance I ever would have picked the Browns after that. And so big, I don't know what he saw, but he saw something there and he nailed it, and credit to him, because and it wasn't even close. So well done.
Yep. 11 for 20, 209 yards, a touchdown and a pick, but they won. And like you said, it wasn't really close. I think this is more about how bad Vegas is now, how far they've fallen.
Yeah, no, I think Pete Carroll's going to be one and done, I think, Craig.
I think so too. Geno threw the ball 44 times, 280 yards, but he has had a terrible year. Genti has not been what they thought. He's 2.9 yards a carry in this game, 50 yards, 17 carries. Tyler Lockett's ancient. Trey Tucker is decent, but he didn't really do much. Like, I don't know. This game came down really to Cleveland's defense and that terror on the defensive side. Myles Garrett, good Lord. He had
He's on pace to break the all-time sack record.
He had 3 more sacks.
Yep.
And that was after last week where I think he had 4, right? Or 5?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. He has 18 sacks through 11 games.
The record's what, 21? Or 23?
Yeah, it's 21 and a half.
Yeah, he's going to kill that. He might break that this week.
It's incredible. He's going to destroy it. And what I think that finally means is that the annoying, and it's not Strahan's fault, but the annoying thing of Michael Strahan having this sack record when Brett Favre gave him that last sack will finally be eradicated from the record books.
Right.
Nothing against Strahan. It was Brett Favre being a moron, but it still annoys the crap out of me that that's how somebody got a record.
Right. Yep.
And TJ Watt tied it, but I would love to see it completely eradicated from the record books.
Right. Well, yeah, so Cleveland gets this win. They are now 3-8. And I think the Raiders are worse.
Yeah, I agree. And 2 things I want to say before we move on from this one, if you have anything else, is 1, Sanders won the job. It is his now, for the short term at least, with Dylan Gabriel healthy, and he has been announced the starter for next week. Good on him, because it did not look like he was going to sniff the field this year. The way everything sounded coming out of Cleveland. So good for him. The other thing is, keep your eyes on Janty moving forward, because the Raiders just made the best move they could have possibly made. It was a bad move when they hired him, and they got rid of their cancerous sore on their left butt cheek, and that is they fired Chip Kelly as the offensive coordinator.
Yes, very good on them.
Yeah, Chip's one of the worst coaches in football, and as a former Eagle head coach, I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, I agree. Let's move on to Atlanta, 24-10 as well. Same score over New Orleans. Me and you got this one wrong, and Joe got this one right as well. We both picked New Orleans.
Good on Joe, because he was on the Saints earlier, and he knew when to jump off the wagon. That's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Kirk Cousins, the ghost of Kirk Cousins, he did what he does, and I don't know. I thought he was just cooked and had nothing in him, and he really didn't have much. But Atlanta is now just playing out the string, I guess. With Penix out, they're just going to go with him. They're paying him a ton of money, so they might as well.
Yeah,
he's not going to.
No reason not to. Yep.
Atlanta's
he wasn't awesome, but he was plenty good enough and solid, and for sure.
Yep, Bijan 70 yards. Mooney had 74 and a touch. Bijan added some yardage on the ground as well. And the Saints, just nothing. Tyler Shuck, 243, no touchdowns and a pick. He threw the ball 43 times. You don't want a rookie throwing the ball 43 times.
Yeah.
Olave was okay. But, overall, this is two bad teams. That's all there is to it. You got no future with Cousins, so there's no point in paying attention to what Atlanta's doing. And New Orleans is a bad team trying to figure out what their rookie quarterback is.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
Neither one of them are going to make any noise, and against anybody any good, they're going to lose.
Yep.
So I don't have a whole lot to add.
No, right there with you on that. This is 2 terrible teams with nothing to look forward to this year. Other than do the Saints have a quarterback? I'm with you 100%. The fact that who's the Saints running back? I just clicked off the stats.
Judkins?
No, I'm sorry. Kamara. Alvin Kamara. The fact that they didn't trade Kamara when they could have gotten something for him at the trade deadline, and he had 3 carries in this game, tells you that they have no idea what they're doing in New Orleans.
Right. And they don't. They really
Yep.
don't.
Yeah.
We're going to skip the last 4 o'clock game and just run out the other ones first.
Makes sense to me. All right, cool.
And if they are not your number one team in the power rankings, I don't know what you're doing now. 34-7 over a good Tampa Bay team. The Rams crush. We all got it right. We all had much closer scores than 34-7. And my goodness, I mean, the Rams they just look like a juggernaut now. In 3 more touchdowns and another no picks for Stafford, his stats on the year now are ridiculous. And is he the MVP favorite? He's got to be.
He was when we looked it up last week, so there's no way anything changed that this week.
Yeah, 273, 3 touchdowns, no picks.
He now, Craig, real quick, he has 30 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
Good Lord.
I mean, that's incredible.
And he's got his team at 9-2.
Yeah. Nah, it's unbelievable. Absolutely amazing. He is playing his ass off.
Remember we were worried about his back at the beginning of the year?
Yeah, there was all this noise about his back issues, and I bought into it, man. I was like, because they were talking about him sleeping in hyperbaric chambers and all this crazy stuff, and it's like it never was an issue.
Puka, 97 yards. Devontae Adams had 2 touchdowns. Kyron Williams didn't do too much. They didn't do much on the ground, but other than that, they look good. I mean, they really did look very, very good against a Buccaneers team who's now had a tough stretch against some good teams, and they really didn't pass the test because they lost all the games.
No, it was their injury issues are real,
Yep.
and they also did not. And they also lost Mayfield in the middle of this game. And by the way, I got a reminder that Teddy Bridgewater's their backup, which is not really good at this point in his career. Yeah, they are not handled the injury losses. They have not held up at all. So they are now 6-5. You know, and rapidly declining. It's lucky for them they're in a really bad division.
Yeah, I agree totally. Yep. I mean, Egbuka only had 30 yards. Mayfield threw 2 picks before he left. Apparently, they're saying it's on his other shoulder, the injury, so he might be able to play through it.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a chance.
So we'll have to see about that. But yeah, there's nothing going on there on the Tampa Bay side. A solid team, but they're too injury riddled, and they went up against three teams in a row there where they just, it was a good test and they failed the test.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 100%. Yeah, and the Rams did everything you want from a really good team.
All right. You ready to move on?
Yes.
The Niners, 20, the Panthers 9. And this is what the Panthers do. They're 6-6 now. They look good, you buy in a little bit, and then they do this, and they just lay a total stinker. They are wildly inconsistent, probably the most inconsistent team in the league, full of other inconsistent teams.
Yeah, for sure.
And
this is how bad they were this week is Brock Purdy threw 3 picks, and they still lost by 11 points.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It really is, man. Really is. Did you see Jawan Jennings get punched in the penis, by the way?
Yes, I did. And then at the end of the game, he was swinging at the guy.
Because at first I was like, what got into Jennings? And then I saw the replay and I was like, man, that guy got off easy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Bryce Young, just miserable. 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Rico,
after having the game of his career last week.
Yes, Rico bad, Truba bad. Nothing to write home about in terms of receiving. And this is a San Francisco team that's beat up in their own right. That threw 3 picks, like you said.
I know, man. Wild, dude. Wild. Absolutely wild.
But Christian McCaffrey has 24 carries, 89 yards, and then adds 7 catches, 53 yards, ran one in as well. Do you know that he leads the league in carries, rushes, and receptions?
He passed Smith and Jigba?
He leads the league in receptions by 1.
Wow.
No
That's
one in history has ever led the league in catches and receptions in the same season.
Man, that's wild, dude. That's incredible.
What a stat, huh?
He's a monster. Yeah, 81 catches. Holy crap.
Yep.
He's got 785 receiving yards and 796 rushing yards.
Yeah. He could go 1,000.
That's wild. Absolutely wild. I think Marshall Faulk did that, if I remember right. I don't
Yep.
remember anybody else doing that.
Yep. But when Marshall did it, he didn't lead the league in receptions. I mean, chances are he probably won't, and Smith and Jigba probably will pass him. But just the fact that we're this late in the year and he has the lead in both carries and receptions.
Man, the only other time, by the way, it ever happened is Marshall Faulk in 99. Christian McCaffrey did it in 2019 when he was on the Panthers, and Roger Craig in the Joe Montana era of 49ers in 1985. Those are the only 3 people in the history of the NFL.
1,000.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm pulling for him to do the leading the league in receptions and carries because that's never been done before, and I like to see that stuff.
That'd be really cool.
Yep. Okay. So I think we can move on if you're ready to move on.
Well, I will just say this and then let you say whatever you want. I almost decided to quit the podcast rather than having to talk about this game.
I would like to talk about this game. Let's just dedicate an entire podcast to this game.
Oh, God.
I had this as my upset pick, so I did get that right. Just real quick, Joe had Carolina, you had the Colts, so you guys didn't get your upset picks, and but I got mine. But we were all wrong on this because we all picked Philadelphia. But Dallas gets the win, 24-21, and I think it's only apropos that you should start this off.
Ugh. Boy, dude. I mean, I was so pumped after they were up 21-0 in like 10 minutes. It was a little bit into the second quarter. They were up 21-0. And I was like, man, this couldn't be going any better. And then they did what they've been doing all year, and it was a tale of two halves, and their offense just went into a shell. They started committing penalties and turnovers, and as bad as the second half went, it was a fumble from Barkley and a fumble from the punt returner that still cost them this game. They still could have won this game if it wasn't for those 2 fumbles. So it was just a brutal loss, absolutely awful. And I have completely forgotten the offensive coordinator's name. I don't know what else to say about it. It was awful, absolutely awful.
Yeah, I mean, this was a sloppy game because you're talking about, if it wasn't for those fumbles, they would have won the game. Well, the thing is, Dallas had their own. I mean, they had that fumble where the guy dove and hit his foot on the ankle of the offensive lineman, and that was a fumble. There was just a bunch of then the block punt attempt that he ended up roughing the kicker, and I think he tipped it, to be honest, but they didn't call it. And
it was close, man. It was, I wouldn't have argued it either way, honestly. Yeah, I mean, it was very close.
Not that he would not lie, obviously, but he was saying, the signal where they like tap their hand saying, I tipped it. So I don't know why they didn't challenge that. I don't know if that's maybe not challengeable.
I'm not sure it is. I'm not sure.
Right. So, I mean, if it was, that penalty, Dak threw the pick, And then, of course, going for it on fourth down a couple times and turning it over on downs. The fumble that the punt returner, Downs didn't score on. Philly got the ball back right after that because we went for it on fourth down at the goal line and didn't score.
No doubt. But and 100%, absolutely. But it put that defense back on the field and tired them out. And you saw how that went the rest of the game. And it was, first of all, that fumble never should have happened because the dude fielded the ball on the half-yard line.
Yeah, what was he thinking?
I couldn't believe he fielded it. And then it never should have had a chance to be a fumble because it should have gone into the end zone and they should have started on the 20.
Yep. 22 penalties in this game, by the way.
16, what was it, 16 by the Eagles? 14 by the Eagles.
So, yeah, a sloppy game, but I got to tell you, and I think I mentioned this last week, and it's kind of sad that Marshawn Nealon passed away. Obviously, it is sad. It's not kind of.
Oh, yeah,
It is
man.
sad. But the fact that it seems like they are really rallying around this. I mean, at the end, before the field goal, they're waving the flag with his number on it.
Yeah.
They're really rallying around this, and I know they're going to disappoint me, but I've got the feeling again, like I feel good about the team again. So I know I'm ready I'm going down, it's going to be a letdown again. But that was not a game they should have won. And they fought, and I love the way they fought in that game. And Dak played, other than the interception there, he really played well.
Yeah, this was huge. I mean, this could absolutely go from knocking them out of any thoughts of the playoffs to Dallas could be a playoff team now. I mean it's a potential.
Yeah, threw for 354 yards.
Yeah, against a really good D.
Yeah. They had over 400 yards of offense.
Actually, yeah, man. No, they ripped apart this Eagle D.
So, yeah, I mean, and George Pickens, my God.
He's a monster.
Could not be going any better. I don't know what they're gonna do about re-signing him, but I'm not worried about that then. But yeah, 9 catches, 146 and a touchdown.
Craig, I'm assuming Jerry will trade him to the Packers.
Right, and then try and defend it somehow.
Right, exactly. Oh man, and CD had a tough game, man. Like, I mean, he's awesome. You're not worried about CD Lamb, but he had a couple big drops, and then he blamed Dak on one of them, which was crazy. The one in the end zone.
Yep. So, yeah, all in all, like I said, it's kind of a sloppy game, but I will take the win. I will take the fight that they showed for sure, and I'll take the better feeling about my team that I have now, and they're 5-5-1 in a absolutely monstrous game coming up on Thanksgiving. But the Eagles, it was a tough loss. Obviously, they don't want to lose to the division rival. Obviously, don't want to lose a 21-point lead. But I know the Eagles well enough that I know they'll adjust. They'll be fine. They're 8-3. They're going to still win the division. Barring an epic collapse like a few years ago where for no reason they just lose like 4 in a row or something dumb, which I don't see happening, they're going to be fine. This was more about the Cowboys showing some fight and coming back from 21-0 than it is about Philly, questioning Philly really. At least to me it is.
No, I agree. It's there's nothing real awesome to take out of this game for Philly, but I don't expect a total collapse or anything. The bad news is their young safety Makuba, broke his ankle and is out for the year. So that's not good. But other than that, it's just one of those awful losses that hopefully they just dust off and get back to playing Eagle football next week and win 13-12,
Saquon Barkley, 10 carries, 22 yards.
The one good thing about the struggles with Barkley this year is they have finally adapted and started throwing him the ball more. Right. I mean, other than that fumble sucked, but for his first year and plus in Philly, they weren't throwing him the ball a ton. And even when he had that great year last year, they weren't throwing him the ball a lot. But they have adjusted to, because for whatever reason, And I think I really believe that it comes down to the offensive coordinator. They can't run the ball this year, but they're getting him the ball out of the backfield, and it's been effective other than that fumble. So at least they're figuring out some way to get him yardage and make him a threat that he should easily be. But and A.J. Brown is a happy camper again for at least a day or two. So, there were, I guess, a couple positives to take out of this mess. But and Hurts played really well. You can't fault Jalen Hurts in this one. But
No.
the team just collapsed. So it's just one of those things. It sucks. And especially against the damn Cowboys, but the Cowboys earned this one. The Eagles blew it, and that's that.
Yep. So I went 10-4 this week.
Mm-hmm.
You went 9-5.
Yep.
Joe went 10-4. And can you believe that after 12 weeks of picking games, we are all tied?
That's insane, man. That should be mathematically impossible.
114-64 across the board.
Unbelievable, dude. That's incredible.
We are all three of us 114-64.
That should really be impossible, but yet there it is. It's amazing.
There it is. Exactly.
Incredible.
Unbelievable. So that's going to do it. That is our week 12 review. I'm really looking forward to the week 13 preview.
Yeah, right there with you, man. Right there with you. Lots of tough calls again, as usual. And really very little clarity 13 weeks into this season, or 12 weeks.
So many teams. So how many times do we talk about don't know what to make of this team?
Yeah. I mean, and teams that are going to make the playoffs, we're saying that about still.
We still don't know.
Yep. It's wild, dude. I don't remember. This is more muddy than any season I remember, certainly since we've been doing the podcast 3 years in,
Absolutely. And the fact that there's teams with good records and we still have these questions.
Yep. Absolutely, man. It is really something. I sit down and try and make these picks every week, and I'm like, man, I don't know what to do in a lot of the games. Where at this point in the season, there's usually 3/4 of the games are usually pretty easy to pick without the point spread. You know what I mean?
Some clarity, but you don't know week to week. Like Carolina, perfect example.
Yeah, like what do you do with that freaking mess of a team? Every time you think they lay a 40 on some team you thought they would get smoked by, and then they get dusted by a Niner team that threw 3 interceptions. You just don't know.
Yeah. All righty. Well, if you have nothing else, I'm all set to move on to the next one.
Yes, sir. I'm ready, my man. Let's do it.
Okay, listeners, make sure you check out the Week 13 preview. That will be up the same time as this, so you'll be able to move right from this to that one. And until next time, I will see